What is up, folks? Welcome back to another live stream repair. Let's get things kicked off here with a classic brick, a Blinky. Let's see what it's got for us and get some names up on the screen here. We're going to start off with an anonymous brick to repair, number 3438. After that, we've got a few more first gens to look at. we got a couple stinky ones. Ooh, everything else today is actually going to be pretty stinky. Ooh, we're going to start, we're going to do 3424 after this. I don't actually know what's wrong with that one. They said it popped really loud a few times and got really stinky. And they tried it again later and it just got really warm. So I'm a little concerned about that one. I'm a little nervous. Can't lie. After that, we've got two from number 3312, another anonymous repair. Some more death farts slash DC offset slash whatever you feel like calling it. And then we've got a mini. I got a mini from Mike. Mike, the same fellow that took the photo for today's live stream thumbnail. He picked up a couple of colored pods from us, some B grade stuff that stuff that we were testing, different methods and what have you, and he took some very great photos of them and made them look way nicer than they should be. But we're gonna take a look at his mini. I don't typically take minis, but I don't advertise it, but I'm happy to still take a look at them if people wanna deal with it. And let's see, we've got, last but not least, we've got an LG Ultrafine mainboard from Jeff. Yes, the one that Northridge Fix was just complaining about the other day. We've got another one of those in. So hopefully it's not that disastrous. But anyways, let's go ahead and let folks know that their stuff's up for repair here. We've got Discord notified. Let's let number 3438 know that they're up on the table. 438. And they have opted for maintenance, whether it works or not. Oh yes, and we've got Chris's pod. We've got Chris's pod from yesterday that updated just fine for us. No problems, untouched. And they opted for hardware maintenance, so we'll do Chris's too at the end. But let's see, 438. Let's go ahead and inform them that they're up first here. Alright, now we gotta hit up 3424. Easy. Did I get that right? 424? Oh yeah, I didn't even let them know it was here yet. My apologies, fellas. I'll let them know. Let's see. I suppose hearing my typing on this keyboard isn't the worst thing to listen to. Alright, 3424 has been messaged. We'll message the rest of the people when we get closer to theirs. Let's make things interesting here and get some fixing going underway. We are going to expose our debug port, and wouldn't you have it, someone's already been in here. And it doesn't look like anybody's actually tried to connect anything to this. A little bit of fuzz in there, but that's it. Let me double check my repair notes for this one and make sure we're not missing anything. 438. It turns on but only blinks. They actually asked for a V1 adapter with their repair to be sent back too, so I imagine maybe probably what happened is they their HomePod started blinking volume buttons. They found our info on how to restore them. They took the base off and they saw that and they were like, I'm just gonna... They looked up how to make their own adapter, or even just the cost of the adapter by itself. Like, not that it's expensive, but you can spend a few more bucks and you can send your whole HomePod into us. We'll take care of whatever's wrong with it, even if it's not just a software issue. You get a warranty and all that. You know, we try to make it all worth it. But let's see here. Oh, yes, the chat. Stefan, welcome, welcome. Raj, welcome back. And cheers, folks. We got the big Ichiban. Ooh, perfect. Okay. I'm feeling nice today. I'll go ahead and get the screen share working for you folks. Even though we've only got the one here, I typically don't bother. Just for how long it takes for me to get this set up here, but here we go. I mean, even if it just works straight away, that'll be great. Beautiful. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna disorient you guys, wiggling this MacBook around the screen. I'm sorry. So here's what we're gonna do. Oh yeah, mind not the previous SSH session into my SingCell Alpha. Never mind that. We are going to plug this into power. We're gonna run our commands. Gastrapone, gaster reset, iDevice restore, D, E, Y. Where did I put this? In the HomePod folder. There it is. So let's see what this has for us. Will it just be a software issue that caused its demise, or was it a hardware issue that broke it? Once we get a progress bar, we'll know pretty well whether it's good or not. Ouch. Waiting for NAND. Okay, well it looks like, folks. Do y'all want to reball a logic board NAND? Or do you want to just give it a different logic board and move on? I kind of want to reball the NAND. I'm going to let it finish failing and cleaning up, because if we let it finish and clean up, then it might, we might not have to try to restore it again after we reball that NAND. But that is certainly a hardware issue. We'll give it another second here to finish erroring out. Y'all want the reball. Alright. Alright. iTouch, welcome, and great to hear. Diode and fuse were done. Alright, come on and error out now. Usually takes a sec for this part to... I mean, I could, if I really wanted to, I could just yank the power and jump into the hardware repair for this, but I'd rather give it the extra minute now. Here we go, to properly air and clean up. So that I don't have to try to restore it after we fix that. Hopefully. We might still need to. But for now, let's get this adapter off so it's easier for us to work on this. Reball, reball, reball. Okay, fine. And they did say, they did pick the fix it no matter what option on their repair forms, so, I mean, you know, within the estimate that we give folks, we'll get this one fixed here. Oh, maybe not. Okay, my arm is all messed up still. Isn't that funny? Like, people that have never heard HomePods before, that's usually how they get sucked into them, is they hear one for the first time and they just gotta have one. And yeah, it's not the best speaker ever. There's plenty of other things out there that are bigger, better, more expensive, whatever. But what Apple put together here, what Apple cooked up, was setting something up for someone that sounds, frankly, better than probably anything else that they've ever heard for what it is. So your expectations are somewhat low when you first see it, and then they're blown away when it actually starts playing with you. And yeah, not everybody agrees. Some people think these are crap. But, you know, to each their own. There's a reason why we're still, you know, these were released in 2018. We started fixing in 2021, 22. And on the daily, we're still getting like 5 to 10 of these showing up. There's a reason. People love these things. They sound great. It's like the AirPods Max, too. I have a pair of AirPods Max, and I've just never heard a pair of Bluetooth headphones sound that good before. And it's still just Bluetooth. I've been a snob up to that point. I was like, yeah, Bluetooth headphones suck. Nothing's ever going to be good over Bluetooth. But Apple convinced me otherwise with their AirPods, like for real. Okay, let's get prepped here. I'm gonna unplug the display cable here so that because it's kind of like pulling up on it. So if this gets too hot, it could just pop that connector right off while we're trying to reflow that, reball that NAND on there. And here we go. There's our precious storage chip. Let's turn our heat down to 375. We don't need it any hotter than that. We don't want to kill this chip. And let's go to town. Come on, buddy, wake up. We'll warm up the whole board first. We don't want to shock everything. And we'll hone in on that NAND. We'll give it like 60 seconds. That infill's something to battle. They don't just solder these chips to the board, they glue them to the board with this black silicone stuff. It's really hard stuff. It's not easy to work with. And I believe it's what's been ripping pads off these boards whenever I try to reball them, not my lack of skill. Just because of how it doesn't heat up at the same rate as the rest of the chip, so it tends to make the chip bow and flex at an uneven rate. And for all I know, some of these had ripped pads before I even pulled the band off. But let's see if we get lucky with this one. Very nice. Got it off all nice and clean. Didn't lose anything nearby. That's why I don't like cleaning that infill up, because it does help keep everything around it in place quite nicely. Let's do our cleanup. We'll get some flux on the chip here. And on our board while it's still warm. And then we need to find our solder wick. Uh-oh. Oh, I got lucky. I spotted it. Let's trim this. I saw a nice tip floating around that you just keep a pair of nail trimmers around to keep this nice and short, easy peasy. I'll get there. I'll get there one day. But for now, well, looks like our chip said let's do a flip. So I'm gonna put some more flux on there. And we're gonna grab our iron. I keep forgetting to turn this on. Thank goodness it only takes like 5 seconds to heat up. I'm used to my weller taking like a minute or two. And, oh yes, to make this a little easier too, I like to stick it in my... we'll do that after. I'm already here. We're gonna very carefully drag this over all the pads and clean all the solder up. We have to be very gentle. As soon as we scratch the PCB and expose any traces, it's kind of game over. Because when we reball this, the solder balls are going to want to stick to are going to want to flow into those exposed traces and mess up our results. So we're going to do one more very quick light pass. And we've got all the solder cleaned off and wicked off of our chip. Let's go to our board and wick all the old solder off that. It's a little easier than the chip. It's a little more robust, a little less delicate, but it's still you can still do the same thing, and you can still be a goofball and rip pads off the board. So I just do one pass before I readjust, and then I'll do another pass with another clean bit of wick. Then we can clean these up. A little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Cool. Very nice. A little bit on there, a little bit on here, a lot on here. I'm going to clean the board up first because that's usually harder to clean all of this up. Alright, all nice and dry there. Let's get our chip cleaned up. Mike's here. Welcome, Mike. Okay, we've got these cleaned up. I'm gonna have to clean this again because I need to scrape off all of this black infill that's around the edges, because that's going to keep it from sitting in our template here. So real quick, I'm just going to grab my knife and scrape that all off the edges. This will also help us line it up better when we go to put it back on the board. I love the sound of scraping silicone. It's actually, the sound is actually the bakelite that we're scratching. That looks clean. Will it fit? These have to be absolutely perfectly clean to fit. It's close. It's close. It's real close. We'll just give it one more quick scrape here. And beautiful. All right, a little bit of cleanup. And since I was a good Nick, and I already cleaned all of this ahead of time, we can just pop our BGA stencil on here, grab some some solder paste. It's pretty dry and firm, so I'm going to mix some flux in there with that and get it all nice and soft again. Put that in a bowl and eat it. I got my little, pseudo spreader here. It's not the best, but it gets the job done. And now the spread. Beautiful. I'll go ahead and scrape that back in here. I don't want to waste. What have we got? Oh, beautiful. It's perfect. We did it. I'll clean that up for future Nick. And now the fun part. No, why would I want to call out sick tomorrow? Oh boy, it's the metal plate is taking too much of our heat. I'll have to do it over here. Alright. And then what I like to do is, before we flow this back on there, I like to put a little more flux on there and reflow it one more time. Very nice. Okay, now we'll clean this up again. Oh, hey, yeah, that's a nice thumbnail, huh, Mike? Did you take it on your iPhone, or do you have like a real camera? I don't feel very good about this one, and that's because those are pretty shallow. But you know, we're gonna send it. We'll send it. If it doesn't work, we'll put in a different logic board. No big deal. Just a little bit of time wasted. I'm gonna put some flux down on the board. We've got clean pads. They've been wicked and wiped. A little flux on my chip for good measure. Now we gotta line it back up. This is the part I don't like. Because I'm still not super positive about this. Alright, that feels right. Let's give it a go. It moved. Oh, it's moving. Oh, it's dancing. Ha. Ah, that's not good. You know, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that one. You know, we're just gonna try it. I'm just gonna try it. Give this a chance to cool off real quick. Yeah, I would not, especially if it's your first NAND reball, I wouldn't touch it if it's anything important on it. I think that's as ready as it's gonna get. Here we go. You reballed the CPU on it a few years back. That's intense. Props to you, man.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the home app.
Okay. If that doesn't deserve a like and subscribe, I seriously do not know what does. 3 times in a row now, we have, the past few streams, every time we've attempted a NAND reball, we have been successful. I think we've got it down. Oh boy. Oh, that... Let's get this taken apart the rest of the way. We're going to get to the amplifier board. We don't want it experiencing any other preventable failures here. We're talking no power from that Schottky diode that loves to go bad. We're talking those filters that like to go bad and cause death farts. We're talking that squishy old foam subwoofer gasket. And anything else that might stink in there. We'll find out. But, oh, yes. Here we go. My hands are, no stinky woofer. Ooh, you guys will never guess. You guys will never guess in a million years what's showing up in my mailbox at home today. I normally have everything shipped to my UPS mailbox, but this in particular I really wanted sent directly to my house. Should be here any hour now. Hopefully it'll show up while we're streaming and I'll show you guys. I'll give you a hint. Not that it's gonna help you guys much. It's not a speaker. So you'll just have to hang around the whole stream if you want to find out what that is. It'll be worth it, I promise. Alright, let's knock out that maintenance. I didn't see or smell anything else funny here, so we're going to knock out the 4 filtering capacitors over there first. We've identified these to be the source for death farts, bass issues. They love to go bad. Whether they're going bad from a quality control issue or age-related failures, I like to stay ahead of that stuff. We've seen them failing enough here that I don't want to get this back after they've spent all their money and we've spent all our time fixing everything else on it. I don't want to get it back with a roasted woofer and a blown-up amp. Alright, filters replaced. Ooh, actually, I'm gonna scoot that top one down a little bit. It's a little close. There we go. I can sleep at night with that. Do we need a new Schottky diode? Yes, we do. We've got a 1748K dated Schottky diode sitting here. These tend to go bad and cause no power, the most common issue for HomePods. So we'll prevent that. Oh, I put that in my dead pile. I don't want it in my dead pile. I've got different piles of replaced diodes. I keep all these parts. They make a great snack, but I don't want to mix up my dead diodes and my used but still working diodes. Not that I plan on using any of the used stuff that I've pulled here, these diodes and what have you. The diodes and filters, no. No. Maybe, maybe if the world falls apart and society collapses and we're hunting and gathering for food, and it gets to the point where obviously you can't buy new components anymore, yeah, sure, I'll fix my own HomePods with all the used questionable stuff that I've been saving. Yes, even if the world ends, I will have my music. I will have my HomePods. Did I eat anything today? I didn't. Let me see. I didn't eat anything significant, unfortunately, yet. It's just, it has been one of those days. Yes, it has. I have consumed a few calories here and there just to make sure I don't die, but I shared some chips with Chell, shared some crackers with Chell. That's actually all I've eaten today. Could we play some music? So what we'll do for music stuff, like, I do love listening to music, but what we'll do, because I don't want to annoy people. I'm sure at least half the crowd here doesn't, you know, they'd rather hear me sit and talk, and they'd rather hear the dental drill than music playing in the background of my room. But we'll dedicate a day every week to you know, jamming out together. It'll be Mondays. We'll do our Music Monday streams. I'll get the TTS set up. We'll do Text-to-Speech Tuesdays. You guys can go ham on that. But unfortunately, Stefan, you and I are in the, I would wager even in the minority as far as people that want music playing in the background. Well, you know, if we can get through everything, if we can fix everything, if we get to the last repair for today, before my wife gets home, then we'll blast some music on the Sing Cell. How about that? We'll have a day where I play whatever music I want, and then we'll have a day where people can queue up whatever music they want. Oh, it's gonna be an absolute nightmare, but it'll be entertaining. Ooh, if we've got nothing to fix for a day, I'll just do a straight up DJ stream. I've got my Amazon Newmark turntables, but they get the job done. You share the QR code and anyone can play anything. Is that so? Like, I could share it with people not on the same like Wi-Fi as me? Would that work between all of us? I put it in the Discord server and y'all go ham? I wouldn't put it in the YouTube. You'd have to be, you can't, not anybody can just queue up music. I gotta make you jump through a hoop or two. You gotta be in the Discord server or something. I want to blow up so I can quit working and just spend all of my time making music. I want to blow up. I want to get famous and act like I don't know nobody. It's one of my favorite vines. Frickin' Riff Raff, man. I don't really listen to his music, but he had some hilarious vines back in the day. It's crazy where people have gone. It's crazy that Vine is no longer a thing, and at the same time how many people have been propelled into like popularity and fame and fortune over Vine, like over their success on Vine, and it's just gone now. Oh, but Elon might buy it and bring it back. I don't care who brings Vine back as long as I get all of my Vines back and all of the Vines that I liked. That's what sucked, is like you lost all of those Vines that you had liked and loved over the years. And I have memories with my wife way back when she first moved up here, and we would just hang out and watch Vines. That was one of our favorite pastimes. There is still an empty spot on my home screen from where Vine used to be. Did I find the fix from problems related to the HomePod 2? The second gen has a few different problems. Are you talking about the touch issues, the ghost touch issues? Because no one's found a fix for those, unfortunately. Unless you've got your hands on a replacement touch panel, there's no fix for the touch issues. No power? It's a toss-up. You generally just have to take it apart and find what shorted out. There doesn't seem to be a common failure for no power in the second gens. Oh yeah, I've got I mean I backed up all of my Vines. I have them saved, but if you've got a link to the Vine, it's like a 50-50 chance whether it's still up or not. It's like all the Vines have been slowly rotting away off the servers. It's really sad. All right, let's make sure that is still in good working order. Incredible.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
You know, what else was kind of why I'm surprised that reball even worked was when we pulled that NAND off. I don't know if you noticed, but none of that BGA looked bad. It all looked great. But I guess it needed it. I've had that happen to me a few times where the BGA looked okay, but it still needed it. It can be deceiving. Well, let's move on to some stinkier stuff here. We got number 3424. I'm really scared to plug this in, but we're gonna do it. It turns on. I believe this one's gonna be a death fart. I think I also let them know. I did, so we'll let number 3312 know that they're up next. One, two. Here they are.
I'm having trouble connecting.
All right. So far, no catastrophic symptoms other than the loud popping. Yeah. So I mean, the amp seems okay. Hopefully, we've just got some bad filters here and maybe a blown resistor too. I'm really hoping we don't have a blown woofer, but I've got some if we need it. Looks over at my last good woofer. So this is probably a case of those, if you remember those 4 capacitors that we replaced in 3438's bricked pod as part of their hardware maintenance. This is, these are some of the problems that we're trying to prevent there. So in this case, they've already gone bad and they're starting to cause issues. Hopefully they haven't caused any damage. Ooh, quite dusty. It's time for the wolf box. I'm gonna mute the microphone. Ooh, 8 out of 10 dusty. Not anymore. Hue light strip controller that needs new MOSFETs. That sounds like a piece of cake. I've got a couple of light strips in my room here, personally. I love them. Haven't heard or had any issues with them. But I am happy to take that on. Just shoot me an email or a text or however we've talked in the past. Let me know what you got. I'll look it up and see if see how much effort and money it'd cost you. I would love to do that though. That sounds like a nice, fun, easy little deviation from our usual repairs here. Okay, good. Yeah, if you cut the strip while it was on and you just briefly shorted it out and killed the MOSFET, that's going to be a lot more straightforward than like if it was a short that occurred over time, like it like a long-term overtime failure. I was worried for a second there that it just kind of like a failed on its own thing, and when we get it, we would have found a MOSFET that had been running way too hot for way too long and fused itself to your board. But if you just cut it you cut it and killed it, it was a quick death, then that should be pretty straightforward. No, ooh, stinky! Sniff that if you want some cancer, eh? Oh no. Well, I had to say it. Let's see. Got another woofer around here somewhere. I have to. No, I don't want to have to tear a HomePod apart for it. Oh, but I'm gonna have to. That's not gonna help us. Oh, don't I have another one? I swear. Nope, I guess not. I guess not. Toby, welcome. Is it possible to dye your white mini red, and is the process the same as the bigger one? It would generally, yes, it's possible. Generally the same process. If you're asking me to do it, I can do it for you. We'll have to talk over email or something to get you a price and whatnot, but if it was me, if you're asking how I would do it, I would, and it would be an absolute prerequisite to have basically a spare HomePod mini that you can use the shell to keep the mesh's shape. And then of course you take the mesh and you put it all on the empty shell, and you follow the same process as any other fabric dyeing process. Got a good woofer here. Let me double check. Yep. Well, at least I've got that HomePod's amp ready to use for someone else. Let's get this torn apart the rest of the way. We don't want to just slap another woofer in here and call it good. That won't work very well. It'll work, but it won't work for long. We need to rectify the reason why that woofer roasted itself. What happened to that one spinning light mini? Mr. Brick. Mr. Brick works, unfortunately. So I use him now. He literally, like, he sat there on our desk for like, what, a year or two straight boot looping, and then just one day he snapped right out of it. And I've just been using him since. I've been waiting to get my hands on another bricked mini like him, but I just haven't come across one that behaved exactly like him ever since. Alright, let's get those filters replaced. These are what went bad and caused all of this, all these problems. Yeah, whatever was wrong with Mr. Brick, it was definitely a hardware issue. And it's definitely still an issue. It's there, I didn't fix it. It's only a matter of time before he makes another appearance. Alright, another thing that we need to replace is a little bit of a casualty here. We've got our 10 ohm resistor. This often blows up when those death farts get so bad that it blows up a subwoofer. What site do I usually order parts from? Usually Mouser. Mouser has my filters and my diodes for less than DigiKey. Here is a new 10 ohm resistor. Same specs and all, I just got it upside down. Very good. Do we need a new Schottky diode? Of course we do. So we'll get that replaced. We don't want this coming back to us for no power. I dropped my diode. Would it be easier for me to order the MOSFETs or let me add them to... I just placed my Mouser order, so I wouldn't be placing another one for about another month or so. What you can do... Yeah, because I would end up just charging you for the MOSFET and shipping anyways. It'll cost the same. You can order the MOSFETs and have them shipped to you, and then ship them with the controller to me, or you can have the parts shipped directly to me and then ship your RGB controller separately. But in either case, I would just have you go ahead and get the MOSFETs. I'm not ordering stuff soon. Alright, that should make this one happy, healthy HomePod for a very long time. Oh yeah, replacement woofer. Got that put in there with a new subwoofer gasket made of solid rubber because the old foam stuff is, it can get crusty. Those drawstrings, man, they can, they'll test your patience. Oh. Let's see what this one's doing. This one turns on. That's weird.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, I'm having trouble connecting to...
That bass sounds way better already. The popping is all but completely gone now.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Alright, so up next we've got number 3312. They've got 2 pods here, one with no power, one with the same symptoms as 3424. We'll go ahead and do the one that turns on first here. And then we will knock out the one with no power. All right, here we go. Ooh, Temu. Temu? What are y'all doing on Temu? Yuck. If you're buying stuff off Temu, save the money and get it from the source. Go to Alibaba. And if Alibaba's too intimidating for you, go to AliExpress. I buy stuff from AliExpress. It's perfectly fine. I don't buy electronics components off AliExpress. I don't trust the quality. Oh yeah, ESP32, RGB strips, that kind of stuff, I wouldn't care to buy off AliExpress. I'm talking our diodes, our filters, our amp, MOSFETs, that kind of stuff. I wouldn't cheap out on the electronic component if I'm putting it into an expensive electronic. I'll put it that way. But I don't have a problem buying cheap electronics off AliExpress if that's what I'm, if that's what I'm getting. Yeah, they've got all sorts of good goodies on there. Hidden treasures. What's that YouTube channel? Great Scott? They've got a great series where they just buy all sorts of random electronics off AliExpress and rate them. If you haven't checked it out, if you haven't heard of it, go check out Great Scott on YouTube. And they've got a great AliExpress series. I think it's cool. Gives me things that I didn't think I needed to spend my money on. let me check the tracking on where my surprise item is for today. It should be here any minute. They're not giving me the live map. They said by 7 p.m. I'm not feeling optimistic. We've got some fresh new fart filters on there. Of course it needs a new Schottky diode too. We've got a 48K date code on there, so that one is likely going to fail and cause the same problem that occurred in their other HomePod. So we'll get ahead of that. We'll replace this before it needs it. That'll do it. If UPS doesn't deliver my surprise item by the end of our stream today, you'll just have to follow my Twitter to see what it is. My Twitter handle makes no sense. It's at unbendablestraw. Easy to find, easy to pronounce, easy to say and share. No great story behind the name. It just is what it is. Marvin, welcome back. How's the Fritz box looking? Chris has approved the purchase of some replacement op amps, so I just have to wait for those to show up now, and then we're gonna give it a go. We'll replace. I mean, it'll take a few weeks for them to get here, but it sounded like they were totally on board with waiting and paying to get it fixed instead of trying to find a replacement. I took a peek. I mean, I don't have access to the same. I mean, heck, I don't even have the same experience as you do looking at what local used classified markets you guys might have. But, like, I peeked on eBay, and the cheapest used 75.90 was still, like, at least $120. So, I mean, we're well under how much, we're well under charging them what would be rather worth replacing it. And no sense buying another used one for way more if it's gonna fail the same way again in a matter of months or a year or two. And I'm happy to make it a cost-effective repair for anybody that's in the same situation. I doubt we're gonna get a lot of Fritz boxes here because obviously it's like a German router. It's a thing you don't really see over here in the States. But anyone that's got one that's willing to send it in, I'm happy to make it a cost-effective repair if we can. Now, if I move to Germany and suddenly I get dozens of them a day, I might have to charge more. But Nick's frickin' Fritz box fix. No, I have not gotten any. I haven't gotten any extra personal info from them yet, so I'm not gonna push for it. I get it though. It's like OPSEC 101. And once you're in the military and you're trained on it so much, it just becomes ingrained in your brain not to it's almost don't ask, don't tell. Like I natively do not want to ask him for any more than I need to know in order to get the job done. And he probably natively feels like he should only share as much info as is needed to fix the thing too. That's a military thing though. You're trained to share as little information as possible because you don't know what you're going to share that might compromise you. Unless you're paid enough to think about it. In which case, that's a whole job in the military. It's called it's like the press or something. I don't remember what it was called. Did we order the DC port? Oh, I did. Yes. Yes, I did, Mike. I didn't, I totally didn't tell you, but I did. They were just a few more bucks, so I figured, what the heck, why not? I'll have a couple spares, why not? So, like, would you be shipping the litter box to me? Like the whole thing? Can you just take it, like, or like just like, are you able to take just the board? Oh god, because I imagine those things are pretty big. That would not be a cheap. That would not be a cheap ship. €150 to fix a HomePod. You know, I could understand that 3 or 4 years ago when these things were new and still being sold new and for $250, $350. But, you know, I'm not, and back then I charged $70 to $90 for the repair, not including any shipping. But these days I charge 70 to 80 and include shipping. It's a great deal, but I have to make it a good deal because nobody's going to want to pay as much on a repair when they can just buy a used one. Even though it's going to have the same problems and they're going to screw themselves. It's not the smart choice. That's the one that people are going to end up making. So I don't charge as much as I used to, but they're also not worth as much. So it's a pickle, but it's a pickle I'm willing to eat, and it still tastes pretty good. Yeah, I mean, if you feel like, if you're confident in replacing it yourself, I can just ship one to you if you just want to give me a couple bucks for it. But wait for them to show up, and then I'll send one to you, and then we'll make sure it actually fits, because I don't want to make you pay for one that didn't work out. And yeah, you could totally just say it didn't fit. Be right back.
I'm having Wi-Fi issues.
Beautiful. Alright, we've got their second HomePod here with no power. We'll go ahead and let the next repair know they're up next. Let's see what we've got. No lights, no power, couple of watts from the wall. Yeah, that's probably another dead diode. How much of a backlog of Gen 1s do you have? This is the last... Oh, actually... If we've got time after Mike's Mini, we need to maintain Chris's first gen. But that's it. Well, okay, There is one more. But they didn't want, they requested for it not to be streamed. It's not special, they just don't want it streamed. So we've got this one. We've got Chris's first gen that updated without a problem. It just needs maintenance. And we've got an anonymous that doesn't want to be streamed, and that's caught up to this point. I hate making anything that shows up wait more than a day or two. Unless it's Mike's. But generally, like everything that we fixed today was everything that showed up today. Except for Chris. Alright. Let's get those filters first, and then we'll take care of that dead diode. These have nothing to do with the power problem at hand, but they do often go bad and cause death farts like what happened in their other HomePod. So we'll prevent that from happening. Basically, 3312 here has two HomePods, one with death farts, one with no power. Even though they are two completely different unrelated issues, if you include our hardware maintenance, they're both getting the same stuff replaced. They're both effectively getting the same repair done. And then, you know, one's getting their problem fixed, and then a little bit of preventative maintenance to prevent what happened to its partner. I just think it's funny that they had two pods, and one had bad filters and one had a bad diode, and it was only a matter of time before the diode went bad in the one with filters, and the one with filters had a bad diode. Not anymore, though. Not if we can help it. Let's get that diode replaced. No, you can't have my dead diodes. I didn't collect them over almost 4 years for just to give them to someone. Fast forward to the next stream. I'm giving away all of my dead diodes. No. No, they're mine. And you can't have them. $1 for every 10 of them? No. No. Y'all were busy getting drunk and doing drugs when you were 16. I was busy blasting myself with decommissioned X-ray machines and tabletop jumping trucks with my friends. Oh, so funny too. My friend ran a business at like the age of 16, and I helped him here and there. But he ran a mobile electronics repair. Mobile computer repair, really. Basically, you know, basic computer troubleshooting, go over to people's house, plug their printer in for them, that kind of stuff. Not to downplay his skills, he's pretty smart. But that's all we would do is, after school we would just go around and find broken stuff to fix, and shenanigans like burnouts and jumping our cars over ramps. Not ramps, really, just roads that were just put there to jump over. Oh darn, it looks like we're all out of time for today. We won't be able to look at Mike's Mini. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're gonna look at Mike's Mini up next here. Oh, I just got an email in completely in German. Why do people think I can speak other languages? I'm so sorry, but I can't. I'm working on it.
I'm having trouble connecting to the I'm having trouble.
All right. Well, that means we can have a little fun here. Let's take a look at Mike's Mini. Okay. What have we got here? Man, that didn't budge at all. That power, the power draw from the wall, no flinching whatsoever. And I did already plug this into my computer or my MacBook and see if it showed up in recovery mode. It did nothing. Didn't light up. Nothing. So we've definitely got something going on here. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fix it, but let's find out here. Why did my overhead camera just turn off? Why did you do that? Why did it do this? It's not overheating, is it? There's no way. It's too cold in here. Oh, it is overheating. Oh, I gotta stick a fan on it. That's so lame. Alright, I don't know how long my camera's gonna last, but I guess we'll just we'll keep messing with it here. Sorry for the fan noise. I didn't think that was gonna be a problem. Let's see, I need I think that's like a T10 there. It's been a minute since I've taken a mini apart. I'll say that. Back to our T6s. Let's see if this won't strip them out. Cool. Oh. They're fucking with us. Cursed HomePod. Mike always sends us the cursed crap. Only the most cursed crap, though. This is why I don't work on minis. Every screw you touch gets stripped, and they're the same size, so I don't understand why. But here we go, we are in. Let's get our main board out. Actually, before we go any further, let's go ahead and plug it back into power, turn it on, see if we find anything getting hot. Any smoking guns, maybe? Where's my thermal? Oh, it's in the living room. Be right back. Oh my! It's dead. My thermal camera is freaking dead. Let's see if we can feel anything getting warm. No. No, nothing's, I don't feel nothing. Well, go ahead and get that turned on. It's gonna take a minute. get some of our main board out. Why do they do that to us? That's like 2 seconds from getting totally stripped out. Is this on? Cool. Let's get that going. It's still too dead. We'll keep tearing this apart while that charges. Let's see, we've got this one. That's for power, isn't it? We kind of need that. Well, that's the temperature and humidity sensor, so we can't unplug that. Is this working? Is it plugged? It is plugged in. Oh, camera's on. Nothing's getting warm on this side. It is stone cold. Alright, well, I'm going to plug this and get this board out the rest of the way, and then we'll see if there's anything on the other side. If we don't see anything on the other side, then we will break out the multimeter and poke around for shorts. That's about all else that we can really do here. Man, they glue these suckers down. There we go. We are free. I'm going to disconnect this sensor here. We don't need that. It's not going to affect our power. I think it could be a fuse or something like that. I think that's a valid theory. Ah! Okay, main board is out. We can get this all of that out of the way so that we can plug this back in. Try to find anything warming up here. Is the inductor is getting warm? Is that what I'm seeing, or is it just reflecting? No, I think that's actually warm. It's hard to tell. That's really hard to tell. Yeah, it's definitely getting warm there. Right on that inductor there and labeled 2R2. So I'm seeing barely a little bit of heat here and here. And that's it. And it's not much. Like I can barely feel it in my fingertips. Like if it wasn't for the camera, I wouldn't know that was getting warm there. Nothing looks awry, but let's go ahead and poke around with our multimeter. See if anything is obviously shorted out. Let's see. Yeah, okay, wow. We found a short. There's definitely a short here. What is it gonna be? I don't know. See, that's the thing, is it... that 2R2 labeled inductor is showing short, and so is everything, of course, around it. 14 ohms on that guy. 10 ohms on that guy. This might be one where we need to figure out how to do voltage injection. Is it the I feel like inductors generally don't go bad. But it's kind of pointing me towards pulling that off. Unless there's something under here. But I don't know. I'm tempted to just pull stuff off, but I mean, I feel like you should do voltage injection to see what gets hot. You think it's the IC? I mean, it was the IC and the it was the IC and the inductor that were getting warm. And I have a small feeling it's the IC, but I kind of don't want to pull it off just to find out it's not. And it looks okay. I kind of do want to. I'm very. I kind of want to pull it off and find out. I don't think it's gonna be gone. I think it's still gonna be a short. Yeah, we still have a dead short. So it's not that. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it back while we still can. I sincerely doubt it's the inductor. I do not think it's going to be the inductor. And I think it's going to be a waste of time. But if I'm wrong, I'm happy to eat my words here. Yeah, it's not the inductor. I think we need to inject voltage and see what gets hot. I think that's going to be what we need to do. Alright, really quick, I should have, maybe, I thought I had another HomePod mini. Logic port floating around here. I know I did. Where is it? Where'd it go? I mean, it's kind of tempting to just pull stuff off until it goes away, huh? But we could have a short totally somewhere else on the board throwing us off here. And again, oh see, yeah, we even have a short way over here. So there's no telling. The old My Bricked mini is at my office. I'll have it here. Thinking. What I need to do is I need to take apart another HomePod mini so that I can find out what's positive and what's ground. So then I can connect some, we can do some voltage injection and see what's getting hot and what's actually causing this short. Because we could spend hours here pulling off everything that we see measuring a short and it not being what's actually shorted. I think that's what we need to do before we spend any more time on this. And I mean, with that said, we are about all out of time here, so I'm not calling it a no fix yet. I've got things I want to try on this. I see a light at the end of the tunnel, as Northridge Fix says. So we're gonna try some stuff on this, but we're gonna come back to it, and we're all out of time for here and now. So I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.